Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over 4 cute and cozy RPGs on the Switch. If you want something that's just got good vibes and is nice to chill out and relax to, this is definitely your place. These games don't all necessarily have the regular mainstays of cozy games like farming, although some of them certainly do, but they all are RPGs that forego some of the challenge to allow you to kind of chill out and be more creative with how you set up your team and what you want to do with the game. Without any further stalling, let's get right into it. Number 1 is, of course, Cat Quest. I've got the 1 and 2 pack here. I think 3 was just released recently. I've really only played 1. I would compare this game to something like Diablo, only really because that's my benchmark of like dungeon crawling games. But in this game, you are a cat. Basically, everyone else is a cat. It is just a pretty straightforward RPG adventure where they have you going into different dungeons to find loot and complete missions that way. This game has a really fun sense of humor. There's big quest boards on the different little towns you can go to that give you just kind of little quests you can do. You know, really not a high stakes game. It does just feel like you're a little cat going on an adventure, learning magic, swinging your sword. Not super challenging. There's some timing based action RPG combat that I think works really well for this type of game. It isn't super in depth, but I don't think that's a bad thing. You can really kind of customize your character to your liking based on what equipment you want to wear, what kind of magic you want to have. If you're someone who likes cats and likes simple RPGs, you really can't go wrong with Cat Quest. It's a super solid and super fun little game. Next recommendation. This is probably my biggest recommendation on this list. 1, because I love this game, and 2, because I think you're likely to have overlooked it. Rhapsody: The Marl Kingdom Chronicles. This is again a series of games where I've only played one of them so far, which is Rhapsody 2, Ballad of the Little Princess. It's one of those games where you don't have to go in order. This is like the most just fun and cutesy and camp RPG I've really ever experienced. It's so amazing. It's like a coming of age story through and through. You are the princess and you're growing up and you're going on an adventure to help your friends. Your mom gives you her blessing and says basically, this is the time where everyone goes on an adventure because we live in a JRPG world and that's just how it works. There are musicals. This is a fully musical game. I can't stress that enough. It's so awesome. During just various plot points, the villains or your team will just break out into song about, you know, whatever's going on. Your main attack is that she just like toots her trumpet and it makes such a satisfying noise. There's also a big monster catching element where monsters can join your team and become puppets, and those puppets basically just give you extra magic to access. Similar to Cat Quest, the combat is not difficult really at all. I don't think I ever lost a battle in my little playthrough here. The game's about 15 to 20 hours long if you're doing mostly a straight shot. I took the time to catch all the extra monsters that I could, so it was a little longer than that. It's genuinely an amazing story. It made me emotional multiple times. It's just so sweet and so hopeful, and it really is just a great coming of age story that has music. It has full musical numbers. If you just want a quirky, fun, charming JRPG that we unfortunately missed when it originally came out, I really suggest picking up this double pack of Rhapsody 2 and 3. Next up, I think most cozy game enthusiasts will know this series. This is my call for you to play if you haven't. This really is the ultimate cozy game. That's Rune Factory 4 Special. 3 and 5 are also on the Switch and are also very good. 4 is the one I played first, and it became my life for a few weeks during winter break a couple years ago. It really is amazing. It's Harvest Moon, basically, but with, again, dungeon crawling, beating up enemies to get their resources and build better weapons for yourself. You're unlocking new magic. You can catch the monsters that like exist within the dungeons and they'll come fight with you, but they'll also help you on your farm, so you can assign them to like water your crops or something. It's just a very fun gameplay loop. This, I think, blends like slice of life and kind of action RPG elements better than really any other game I've played. If you're in the market for a new cozy game and you haven't tried the Rune Factory series, try just really any game in it. They're all really good. It's an amazing cozy game series. Definitely one of my favorites of all time. And then lastly for this video is another game made by Marvelous, who are the people that make Harvest Moon and Rune Factory, and that is Silent Hope. This is an action RPG with roguelike elements where the plot is basically like a giant hole has opened up in the ground and you need to keep getting like lower and lower into that hole until you finally find the big bad that you can fight them. This is maybe the one that's the biggest stretch to call it a cozy game because it is more of a dungeon crawling roguelike than anything else. But if you like the vibes of things like Harvest Moon and Rune Factory, you definitely will like this game. The classes are also, there's some really fun options. Like there's a farmer class where one of your spells is like you just eat food and you get a random buff. And this game just has so much personality, like a lot of Marvelous games do. There's a lot of cool class options for you to choose from. It is a very satisfying gameplay loop to go in and try to get rare loot, to upgrade your equipment and everything. You also do have a home base where you can request that the other classes that you're not currently using, they'll like work in the blacksmith shop or something and make weapons for you, or process your materials. So there is that aspect of kind of taking care of like a home base and stuff. Although it doesn't get into depth with that as much, it definitely is more about the action RPG gameplay. If you're someone who's liked cozy games and maybe wants kind of a bridge into more traditional RPGs, this is a great place to start. Or if you're just anyone who likes either of those two ends of the spectrum, I think this game will be great. It's really a lot of fun. So yeah, I know this was a bit of a quicker video, but I appreciate all you guys watching. I welcome any other suggestions for future videos. I definitely love cozy games. I'm happy to talk about them. I'm thinking about maybe going to the Wii or the DS next and talking about some cozy or comforting games on there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you.